Well, we're back here in Moore live looking at the tornado damage from yesterday, and it is extensive. I was listening to Dan's forecast, and the folks here breathing a sigh of relief. Today has been absolutely atrocious weather. There was rain, there was hail. That beat back some of the weather crews that were trying to go out and assess the damage to see if it's an F4, F5, some of those kinds of things, not to mention the search and rescue and just people cleaning up. It's been an awful day. Fortunately, about an hour ago, the sun came out, and they're supposed to be halfway decent, at least as we push in towards tomorrow. I want to bring in Liz Bryant. You've been in some of the neighborhoods talking to some of the people, and it really is a disaster zone.
It's really disaster zone. One neighborhood about a mile away from here I was at just about an hour ago. The streets are cluttered with items like pillowcases. It's such a powerful picture. I'm going to set this pillow down. That media are actually using this neighborhood as a backdrop. 90% of the neighborhood, I would estimate, is completely leveled. It's right across the street from the Moore Medical Center. So if we've seen those pictures, that's what you think of, the Moore Medical Center. But however, there is one house on the corner of this neighborhood that is still standing, and today I talked to the mom and daughter of that house that share an unbreakable bond.
There was a chimney right there.
Tracy Barnhill is assessing this damage today back at her childhood home.
More side of the house.
She's finding items in the yard that don't belong at her mom's home.
There's a deer skin right here. I have no clue where it's from.
It's the second time they've seen this place since taking cover from the Moore tornado inside Tinker Air Force Base.
She sat there and prayed all the way from Tinker Air Force Base to make sure that she goes, I could care less about my house. She goes, I just want my dog.
See, Tracy and her mom, Sherry, are both in the Oklahoma Air National Guard. When the mom and daughter heard this tornado rip through Moore Medical Center just across the street from them, they knew their home's fate. However, they were more worried about the family dog.
See where this fence panel is right there? Right where the bush underneath of it, that's where we found our dog. Completely, he's alive.
This duo has lived through Moore's three well-known tornadoes in 1999, 2003, and now 2013.
It's my home. Moore's been my home since I was 8 years old.
Our neighbors across the street have nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. They can't even find a pair of underwear.
As for Heather, she remembers the memories inside here since she was 6 years old. While this house was temporary, those memories are permanent, and they will both make new ones when they rebuild in this same spot.
It's sad that it looks this way, but hey, we can always rebuild.
And Tracy and Sherry both remember watching the 1999 Moore tornado pass right in front of their yard. They say they've almost been the target before numerous times. However, unfortunately, this time they were the target. And Russ, what's really cool about this story, if there's any light at the end of the tunnel for them, their Oklahoma Air National Guard squadron, which the mom and the daughter are both a part of. Crews from that National Guard squadron are actually waiting to come in to move Sherry out of the house. Right now, unfortunately, they can't get on the road because there's so many media vans, SUVs, and there's also a lot of tourists, so they have to wait till kind of, you know, everyone moves out so that they can go in and get their belongings out of that house. And just right behind Sherry and Tracy's house, there's a guy that's living in a tent, and coming up in about an hour, I'm going to show that story because it's quite impactful.
All right, Liz, thanks. And that is kind of what you're seeing. There is a great spirit of volunteerism, people helping one another, helping them kind of move out and helping people clean up and those kinds of things. But the other part of it is that literally you can't tell where one person's property ends and another one begins because it's just a big, twisted, mangled mesh of stuff, and all of it, quite frankly, is destroyed. That's some of what we're seeing here and more. Let's send it back to Karen.
And so many